Boker tov, everyone. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm not even on the Shvil yet. Everybody left like 2 hours ago. And I should have left 2 hours ago because it's starting to get warm out here. But the funny thing is, about 10 minutes ago, you know that 0.001% chance of rain I told you about? Well, I felt a raindrop. One. I was so happy because maybe it would be cooler. Of course, I should probably dig out my rain cover, but I just don't even care. My pack is extremely heavy. I'm carrying right now about 6 liters of water. We ran out of water yesterday and couldn't find the water where they said that there would be water in a couple of places. And well, first of all, about halfway through the trail, I met a fellow about my age who was in a very similar position as me, low on water, and we still had half the trail to go. And it was 30-something degrees and 70% humidity or something, and we were in big trouble. So actually it was really nice that we met each other. We were able to kind of push each other and pull each other along. It was really super helpful. I don't think, I know I would not have been able to make it without him, and likewise. But other than that, the hike was beautiful, and I'm just so sorry that I wasn't able to get like pictures and video for you. I think I got a little bit of Kiryat Shmona in the Hula Valley in the beginning, but after that it just was not possible. A large part of it was just exposed on the hillside with no shade and uphill, just continuous uphill climb up a dirt road, and it was just really, really hard. Then at the end there was about a kilometer section where it was just scrambling through rocks and over rocks and climbing in this dry riverbed, and it was challenging and it was awesome, and it was shade, but it was really hard, especially with the packs. And after having hiked for 14 kilometers already. So, but it was unbelievably beautiful, and I'm sorry I don't have any pictures of that. It was, yeah, I'm so sorry. But it's really turning out to be really hard to do the videos on the Shvil itself. I'm trying, and I will try to get you guys some better stuff later, but right now I have to try to get to Dishon, and I have to try to find myself a place to sleep tonight because I've camped out a couple of nights in a row now and I stink, and I need to do laundry and I need a shower, and I don't even know if I can get all that. So anyways, another day, another hopefully 15 kilometers, and hopefully I make it. Okay, so that down there again is more of the Hula Valley, just climbing along the ridge above Kiryat Shmona and the Hula Valley, trying to get to the next place to stay tonight. And I had a bit of an issue there trying to figure it out because there's no way I can hike to the only really available place. So I had to, this is really, really difficult terrain, and with my pack or no pack, it's difficult terrain, and so I had to kind of reevaluate and swallow my pride yet again, and I've decided that the only way that I'm actually going to complete this trail, if that's what I want to do, is by hitchhiking some of the sections, just little pieces here and there, because I just can't do it otherwise. Maybe if I was 20 years younger and a little foolish and had actually trained and done this for many, many years, this kind of thing in other places. But even Israelis, the reporter I was talking to the other day, who's doing this with his daughter, was telling me to be very, very cautious and careful because I'm not used to this climate, and the conditions, and dropping my water bottle, which I shouldn't be carrying in my hand, but I've got, after yesterday and not having enough water, now I have too much because I'm afraid of not having enough water again. So anyways, so yeah, so even Israelis who are accustomed to the conditions and whatever, lots of them, well, I don't know how many is lots, but anyways, people die out here on this Shvil or other Shvils or whatever, doing stuff outside all the time, every year, because the conditions are just so crazy. It's so hot, so humid, and people just don't prepare enough for it. They don't bring enough water, don't bring enough food or watch their electrolytes as well as their water and stuff. So it's this is a very, very challenging trail, and the National Geographic calling it the one of the 20 most epic trails in the world. I would say probably, well, I don't know, I'm sure there are difficult trails, but there's no question this is difficult. But beautiful, and I have to remember to keep looking at the view because that's what I'm here for. But I keep forgetting because I get so wrapped up in watching my step and figuring out where the next marker is. But anyways, there we go. Hopefully today's going to be a little bit better than yesterday. And certainly if I can catch a lift for part of the way, or probably actually a couple of sections today, then I'll actually make it, and I might feel a little better. Alright guys, so when I'm talking about the hilly or mountainous north of Israel, this is what I'm talking about, in addition to the what you saw of the Hula Valley and the walking on the ridge there. So this is a little bit further away. We're behind the ridge, so you can't see the valley anymore. And it's just the mountains, and it's very exposed. And so this is the problem. There's no water sources along the way. There's no place where you can, no streams and rivers where you can take your filter and just filter water. You have to actually carry all your water on you. So when I left this morning, okay, and I have flies all over me. When I left this morning, I had 6.5 liters of water. That's 6.5 kilos of water. Right now I have maybe 4.5, a little bit more. Or maybe I had 6 liters of water. So that is insane when you also consider the fact that it's probably close to a 50-degree humidex. So like probably 47 degrees with the humidex. So this is not at all like hiking the Appalachian Trail or the CDT or PCT or any of that. It's quite a challenge. Oh my goodness, my first real wildlife, aside from a little rabbit that ran away from me, somewhere on the other side behind that ditch there, is what I think is a jackal or a coyote or something. That was so hilarious. Yeah, back there, over, unless it's just a dog, but I don't know if you can see it. Just turned around, and it's coming back this way towards the road. I'm guessing that it's a jackal of some sort, but that's really cool. Oh, there it is. Can you see? Way, way over there on the road now. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that all this time I've been telling you about Lebanon, and we've been seeing it in the distance or behind the ridge. I just caught a hitchhike with a really lovely lady named Lena, and she's taking me to the next kibbutz where I'm supposed to stay tonight. I just didn't have the strength to finish this section. And this is actually the fence to Lebanon. The other side of this fence is actually Lebanon, and we've been driving along it for a little ways. There's a military outpost right there, and if I go over here, you might be able to see the sign over there says stop, border ahead. So we are actually really at the border to Lebanon, which is pretty amazing. All right, gotta go. So I was supposed to try to make it to Dishon, which is actually not as far as Bar'am, which is where I am now, and there was no place to stay in Dishon, and so I spoke to the fellow from Bar'am, and we sort of figured that if I can make it, even by hitchhiking or whatever, to his road, maybe he could pick me up. And so I didn't make it. I didn't make it even, like, I don't think even halfway to Dishon. I left too late. It was too warm. I had way too much weight of water. And because yesterday we didn't have enough water and we ended up in a really bad situation, so I wanted to make sure I had enough today. And so I didn't make it. I hitchhiked back to the road where I started this morning, and then hitchhiked from there and caught a lift. The first lift I got on that road, on the road to Bar'am, was a lady who's going to Bar'am herself. And she's so lovely, and her mom is Swedish, and she invited me to their family Rosh Hashanah dinner tonight. I'm so happy. Like, you know, when you get changes in plans that are just meant to be, and this I'm certain is one of them. So I'm super happy. I was really, really disappointed. I was ready to cry out on the road there, but now I just everything is so much better, and I'm gonna have to make some decisions about how I'm going to do the Shvil going forward, because it really is very difficult, and I'm determined I'm not gonna quit and not do it, but just a question of how is it that I'm actually gonna accomplish this. So we'll see. You'll hear more about that later. But right now, this is the this is the hiker's room, the room for Shvilistim on the Shvil Israel. So there's a bedroom over here, and then there's a kitchen that's stocked with all kinds of stuff, all kinds of goodies, and a stove to cook on, and a washroom, and over there there's a couple, can't see because of the door, but there's a couple of showers, and there's like a dining area here, and another room with beds in it over here. Obviously I'm the first one here because it's quite early in the afternoon. I just, yeah, couldn't hack it today. So, but it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you can see out of the window there, it's again up in the mountainous north of Israel on the border with Lebanon, and just amazing. Okay, the sun's in my eyes, but you know, it's so strange. With all the difficulties and all the challenges of these first few days, you know, nothing ever happens without a reason. And I'm here in this absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, peaceful little kibbutz right on the Lebanese border. And there's even, this is like a famous place for Shvilistim. There's like an actual Shvilistim room here for people who are doing the Shvil, and that's what I showed you on the inside. It's just amazing. And the funny thing is, I told you about the lady who gave me a lift up here who just happened to be coming up here. And her mom is Swedish, but she's not actually, she was born in Sweden, but she's actually Finnish by her background. And so my background is Finnish as well. And so it's just, nothing ever happens without a reason. And just trying to remember all these things and all these, make sure I remember all these memories. And the other thing is, okay, let's get back in the shade. I had actually, on my original plan, I had planned not to actually do any hiking on Rosh Hashanah. Originally, I had planned to hike on Rosh Hashanah, and then I decided, no, that's not what I want to do. So I changed my plan and decided that I was not going to hike on Rosh Hashanah, but then I got behind because of the sort of startup difficulties, and I thought, well, I need to catch up some time, so I'm going to hike on Rosh Hashanah anyways. Now I think maybe I'll stay here for the day and kind of just regroup again, because I don't want this to be kind of an experience that I'm going to remember and hate for the rest of my life. I want it to be a good experience for me and for you guys and for everybody. So I think that would be a good thing, and just get some rest, and then also just have some time to figure out how I'm going to approach the rest of the Shvil, because one thing is absolutely clear, that I don't have mostly the time. I think anybody could do it if you had the time, but it's also a bit logistically challenging in terms of where you're going to stay and if you're going to camp and stuff. So I think I just need to take some time to figure out how I'm going to approach the rest of it, and make sure that I actually finish and end in Eilat. So maybe what I'll do is fit in a little bit of hitching on some of the longer stretches or wherever I feel I can't make it, and but still try to get a bit of every piece of the trail for me and for you guys. So I'm going to get rested up, and then I'm going to go join Lena's family for Rosh Hashanah. And and Arik, the fellow that I met on the trail yesterday, he was in really, really bad shape. I mean, he had taken 5.5 liters of water in the morning. The recommendation is 4 to 5 liters according to the Red Book. And I guess he drinks a lot of water and spends a lot of water. He said he's not in such good shape, but he was actually in pretty good shape, I would say, for someone his age. My age, his age. We're both about the same age. And so, I mean, he was taking this for a few days to reflect, and had kind of planned it a little bit, but didn't quite realize just exactly how difficult, just like me, didn't quite realize how difficult it was. So he's left the trail for now. He's gone home. He's gonna think about it and plan a little bit better, and probably do it again sometime later. But what a lovely person, and if I hadn't met him, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have made that section at all, and he certainly, I think, felt likewise. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you right now exactly where we are in Israel, if I can. We're actually right there, right on the Lebanese border. That is the Sea of Galilee, or the Kinneret, and this is right in the north of Israel. That over there is the Mediterranean Sea. Right there, that red line is Lebanese border, if you can see that red line. And then this is the kibbutz where we are. It's Kibbutz Bar'am. Very cool place. I'm so glad I saw this, and I didn't think it was going to be on my agenda or my itinerary. Even though it came highly recommended to me, and I was told I really should come and stay here. And I really wanted to, but I didn't think it would work out, and here I am. So I'm just amazed and happy, and finally feel like I can do this as long as I plan it right. And I just need to, like I said, regroup a little bit and do some planning. I'm even making myself noodles for lunch. I'm hungry for sure, so it's because I'm hungry, but also just because I can, because they have all this stuff here. And they have my favorite noodles, the twisty, twirly ones. So yeah, very happy. Actually, the funny part was that I was actually the last one to leave camp this morning, and here I am, the first one here. I'm all showered up already. My clothes are soaking because they're gonna need to soak for probably like 3 hours before I wash them to get all the smells out of them. And yeah, it's just ironic. Just got back from my Rosh Hashanah dinner with the Israeli, Swedish, Finnish family and their Mexican, Colombian friends and boyfriends. And I just had a really lovely time with them and would have loved to stay longer, but this hiker business is getting me, falling asleep very early. So I was just, I'm just losing it, and couldn't really, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but can't party that way anymore. So I'm back at the hiker house and getting ready to go to bed and decide what I'm gonna do about tomorrow. So, Laila Tov and Shana Tova.